What it do, folks? What it do? James Hicks here, Hicks New Media. Welcome to Team No Sleep. Only one overlay, only one camera right now. I don't know what's going on with my man, Mr. Montel Allen. I hope he is well. Haven't heard from him today. Maybe they got him stuck on the in that San Diego traffic trying to get to the house. But listen, we got to go on, right? The show must go on. Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Team No Sleep, the social impact of sport. So that being said, if anyone wants to come in and impromptu guest co-host with me, come through. Yeah, if you know the link, come on through. I'll let you in the front door. We will do this. I'm gonna stall a little bit. I'm gonna do some acknowledgments. Welcome to folks that are in the comments there. I've done some show updates in terms of what the show looks like and scenes and overlays and things of that nature. So this is a good opportunity for me to actually work with that a little bit as well. Hope you guys are doing okay. There are a handful of stories that I want to go over today, and I want to be cognizant of time and continue to go on. I know from a sports perspective, maybe a lot of you are watching the ESPYs right now, which is always, a good event. I saw Damar Hamlin just get some recognition. I saw Michaela Schiffer just get some recognition. So after Team No Sleep, you can go on over there to ESPN and ABC and watch the ESPYs. Also, if you've got any particular sports stories that you would like to talk about and dialogue about, bring them up. Because again, I've got 4 or 5, and uh, if Montel's not going to join, this may be a quick stream for sure. But let's go ahead and get into it, man. Let me I tell you what. Let me go ahead and put that link up so folks know how to get into the studio. Should you want to join? I love it when things don't go completely as planned, but you know what? We still gonna make this happen. We still gonna make this happen. Hold on one second. Boom. Right there in the comments. Y'all come through if you want to. links.jameshicks.org/join. And you can come and be a guest on tonight's show. So let's do this. We talk a lot about social impact, and obviously that's the first story that we want to start with tonight and that I want to start with tonight. I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but this Pat Fitzgerald situation out there in Northwestern, and the coach, Pat Fitzgerald, is the coach of the Northwestern football team. He's under inquiry. He's currently been suspended for a couple of weeks due to a hazing incident that's happened within his program, within his locker room. But what's interesting about this right now is that Northwestern is saying, 2 weeks may not be enough. Right. We may want to add a little bit more severity into this particular thing that's going on. And we may want to maybe extend that suspension. We may want to have some more drastic measures. And the reasoning, the rationale behind this, the investigation is starting to show that I'm looking for the actual wording that they use. What is it? University Commission investigation launched in January found that one claim from an anonymous whistleblower that hosing incidents of improper sexual type of conduct with the students, so the freshmen are getting hazed by the older members on the team. Everyone's standing around watching it. If you've been in a fraternity, if you've been in a sorority, you have gone through the line. Right, and you know that hazing is now no longer allowed as well within the Greek life. But when you join a club, when you join a team, especially a sports team, thing like that, there is kind of that bonding activity that happens. Now, does it go too far sometimes? Of course it does, right? And is it right to haze folks? No, I don't think it's right at all. But some method, some activity, some bonding incident, something has to happen, I guess, to make folks feel like, when you go hit the field, when you go hit the court, that it's all for each other. There's no eyes. It's all about the team, that kind of thing. Now, I really don't agree with the type of activity and the misconduct that's happened here at Northwestern. And I'd love to hear kind of your guys' thoughts, especially those of you who have probably played sports, organized sports at whatever level, the high school level, the college level. I know we got some professional athletes that watch this as well, but from a punishment perspective for the coach, what's happening right now with Northwestern is that they're saying he should be responsible. He should know what's going on within his locker room. He should know. He should have his captains coming to him, and he should know if a player is being ill treated, if a player is not progressing through whatever the curriculum is, whatever the case may be, and should be able to nip those types of things, especially when they become harmful, and especially when they become to a point where um, a player is feeling objectified, uh, abused, harmed, in any of that stuff, right? Not made to feel comfortable within their own self. So I'd love to get your guys' comments on what you think about this story. And again, at a high level, that's really what's going on right now. The Northwestern football program under the stewardship of Coach Pat Fitzgerald is being questioned right now. And then again, this latest story that came out saying that they're reconsidering it. They're thinking about 2 weeks as the investigation has gone through, and they found out again that this has been happening for an extended period of time. That again, man, you gotta control your house, right? You got to control what goes on, especially when you have your captains and your quarterbacks, and those primary members of your squad. So, I would love to get again your guys' take on your thoughts on that, especially if you played sports. Like I say, um, I played a lot of baseball. Didn't really see a lot from this type of perspective in terms of hazing activity and things like that. Baseball is more very superstitious, right? We don't walk over the line, or we don't step on the line, right? We don't argue with the pitcher when we're at bat. We just try to have a little modesty as we trot around the bait, right? It's very superstitious in that thing. But again, when you get into some more of the aggressive sports, when you get into something like football, like we're talking about with Northwestern, uh, there's just chances, there's more opportunities for things like that to occur, things like that to happen. I see Mr. Allen has joined in. I think he's out there doing too many things, man. He's out there making all this money. I'm just out here doing what I do. But let me bring him in as well now that we've got him available. Dr. Allen, how are you, sir? How are you? No
Yeah.
worries, man.
Bless, man. Sorry I was late, man. I had to take a last minute phone call for the 9 to 5, man.
Hey,
Sorry about that.
listen, we got to do what we all have to do. Appreciate you for doing that due diligence. I started talking about the Northwestern situation, right, and
Yes.
um, the hazing incident, and how Pat
Yep.
Fitzgerald is being questioned. Does he have control over his, not just his locker room, but over his program? And this 2 week suspension that they've got on him right now, and they're saying, maybe this isn't enough. Maybe we need to add some more time, some more dates. Maybe take some money from him. Whatever the case may be. And I was asking kind of the audience what their thoughts of, especially if they've had personal relations or personal situations where they've been involved in something like this. And I
Yeah.
tried to reckon it and liken it to the Greek world, right?
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
fraternities and sororities. But while you catch up, I'll take a look at these comments and see what folks are saying.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. I think obviously to the extent what's going on in Northwestern with they're saying that the abuse and some of the sexual misconduct in there, then yeah, there's a problem. I'm a firm believer in a little hazing. I think
Mm,
hazing builds character, and I believe hazing builds a little bit of team camaraderie when you, especially in a team sport like football. You know, back in my day, guys used to shave their heads or they do
hmm
something like that, just to show unity in team and to show that you're willing to sacrifice something that you like or something that's personal to you just to be a part of the team. Same kind of thing with fraternities. You sacrifice a little bit of something, um, but when it goes too far, like I said, with the sexual allegations that's going on and the physical abuse going on, then there's a step too far. Does Fitzgerald think? Do I think he knows about it and he understands? Yes, I think he does. He may not know the extreme, right? He may like hear an incident here and there, and it's a laugh off situation because it's not made a big deal. But is he aware of it? Absolutely. Has he lost control? That's here to say because you usually leave hazing up to the captains of the team, right? You usually leave that
That's
to the
exactly kind of
leaders
what
of
I
the
was
team
saying. Yep. Yep.
to do it. So that whatever the extreme of the hazing goes on with the leaders and the team and some of the team action, and typically 9 times out of 10, everybody's in for it. The only people that kind of get it like the freshmen, that are probably not used to that culture, they kind of get a little, apprehensive about it. But you know, the guy, it's something you buy in. I mean, I was a freshman, I bought into it. I'm a victim of it, but also I do believe you as a freshman or person that's coming at it, you need to know what's going too far as well. If someone's trying to take
Mm,
advantage of you and do something, you need to defend yourself. You know, I don't care if it's 15 football players. If you're gonna do something to me that I don't think you should be doing to me, somebody's gonna be catching the fisticuffs.
yeah,
Period.
yeah,
Don't matter. So I don't always say put the blame on the people that are being the aggressors. The people that are supposedly the victims need to defend themselves, and a lot of them just subdue to it and just figure, oh, it's okay. When you know it's actually wrong, it's wrong.
mm.
So
Or they do it and they allow it to happen because they either want to fit in and or they want to be
yeah,
on the squad, right? So I mean,
yeah,
they're
yeah,
they're they're at a
and that's
weird
all
catch
fine.
22. Though. They're at a weird catch
But
22.
but 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 you know what is crazy about that, because I think Jeremy Shockey, the old tight end, had a great story. I remember when he said when he was a freshman, someone tried to haze him, and automatically he knew it was wrong. He started fighting with three of them right then and there, threw down. No one questioned Jeremy Shockey being a part of the team, right? They didn't question he's one of the best tight ends that played, and so on and so on. And several instances like that. If you feel somebody's doing something wrong to you, then you defend yourself. Period. It's not, you don't just turn your back and let it happen. You defend yourself, and that's a part of football culture. I can't speak of other sports, but football culture,
Yeah,
it's
that's
part of
exactly what I was
being.
saying too. Because I never really
Yeah,
got that in baseball, right? But again,
yeah,
I
yeah,
thought maybe something like football or a sport like that would definitely have something like
yeah.
this. But
It's a culture of being. I hate to use the word violent, but you're violent. You're you're combative. You're all those things when you're playing the sport. So when you do hazings, they're just testing you, right? They're testing you, see how far they can push you before it snaps, or you just agree to do it. Shaving your head, uh, putting on, taping you to the goalpost, making you run around the track nude or something. They're doing things like that to kind of, get a rise out of you because it's things you're uncomfortable doing, but seeing if you're willing to do a sacrifice for the team. But if it goes too far, or you feel it's going too far, then you know what? I'm not doing it. We can throw hands right here, or we can go talk to the coaches because I'm not doing it. And then it kind of ends at that point right now. I've never heard of it ever going beyond that point. Some of these victims are in that environment, and yeah, I do believe the aggressors kind of took advantage of them and going that way. But also at some point, you got to stand and defend yourself. You have
yeah,
to in the
yeah,
sport of football. You have to stand up and
well,
defend yourself, because
in
if that's
everything,
the case,
right? Yeah,
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 yeah, people are just going to take advantage of you. And in this case, they did. But again, back to your original question: did the coach know? Yes. Did he know to the extreme? Maybe not. I don't think he knew the extreme where exactly was going, because he probably would have stopped it if it went too far.
yeah, yeah. Coach,
Um,
yeah, captain probably came up and said, "Hey, we gonna give these new freshmen, a little run
yeah,
for their money. We gonna put them through the paces." But coach
yeah,
probably, again, we're just assuming, coach probably didn't know exactly what it all entailed until the
yeah,
young cat said, "Hey, wait a minute, this is too much. I got I got to tell
yeah, yeah.
somebody."
Well, I mean, obviously, it's the protocol. Like, hey, um, this happened to me, right? Like, I didn't have any problem with any of it. Of course, I got to probably recommend, because But when they said the sexual allegations that went
Yeah,
on,
yeah,
like, okay, well, what does that mean? And like, well, first of all, what does that mean? And then two, what does that entail? And I'm sorry, a 17, 18, 19-year-old needs to understand, if something like that is going too far, you need to stop, regardless if you want to be a part of the team or not. At some point, you got to just stand up for yourself, right? If that's going too far to that point. Uh, um, and I personally believe at some point you just got to fight, man. I mean, if you feel it's wrong, you got to just fight about it. You can't let it happen to you. I don't care what the circumstances or situation is. I don't care if I'm on scholarship or not. I don't care if I want to be a part of the team. You're not going to do that to me. Like,
yeah,
someone's not going to call me a certain name, right? I'm
yeah,
not going to be in the locker room and somebody's not going to call me a certain name, regardless how big you are. We're going to fight, or we're going to have a confrontation about it. So if I'm willing to stand for that, I'm definitely not going to let nobody violate me in that situation, regardless of who I am and regardless of what age I am. So, and if the coach didn't know about that, then he rightfully so deserves to lose his job, because you can't have nobody
yeah,
being
yeah.
sexually
Something
abusive.
more is gonna happen. 2 weeks is kind of a
Yeah,
slap on the wrist, but then when you find
yeah,
out about what's going on, and I'll make sure to put the link in the description if you guys want to hear more or see more specifics about what happened. They're calling it running. And again, man, listen, they got the young freshman. He can't leave, he can't move, and he has other players on the team, other senior players on the team simulating a sexual act either on him or around him, and he has to somehow participate. Man, it's like Montel said, we throwing
No,
hands, brother.
yeah,
We I'm tearing up everything in the locker room,
yeah,
and I just
yeah,
won't start. I just won't play. But that is not how we gonna build a brotherhood. Like Tammy Chambers
yeah,
is
yeah,
saying in the
yeah.
comments, penalize them kids.
Yeah, that right there is taking it way too far. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
you
all
can't
for
do that,
shaving
man.
your head, painting, put
Yeah,
some
I mean,
warm paint
come
on
on,
you.
man.
That
Yeah,
that
don't do
stuff right
that.
there, I think that just builds character and brotherhood. I don't believe that's outlandish hazing, in my opinion. I think that's okay. As long as it doesn't offend your religious beliefs or something like that, by all means, you can shave. I mean, we had a kid, I remember when we played, all the kids shaved their head, but we had a kid that was Native American on the
Hmm.
team, and it was against his religion to shave his hair
Okay.
because his hair. So we're like, all right, well, okay, so shave your legs then, right? Shave your legs. He shaved his legs, and everybody was kumbaya with his teams, and we rolled with it. So you can make, there's certain, as long as it doesn't offend your religion, man, or something like that, a little bit of friendly hazing is okay. When it gets to the sexual thing and that kind of stuff, that's where
Yeah,
I think it
they
crosses
went
the line for
overboard. They
everybody.
did. They went
Yes.
overboard. I mean, camaraderie and building that kind of like I said before you came on. Yeah, building camaraderie makes sense, and again, it shows that you are part of the team. There's no I. It's all about the E. It's all
Yep.
about everyone. But yeah, when you start getting to some of these things that Northwestern is accused of, and the allegations brought up in the investigation, we need to have another conversation. So,
Yes. Yes.
um,
Yep.
I tell you what, man. Since you was doing the 9 to 5, we didn't get a chance to debrief and talk about run a show. But let me at least ask this before we go into the next story. We got mostly good stories this week, so that's a good. That was the worst story. How about that?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, how was your week? Right? I mean, in terms of were there any football activities, any sports activities? Is the young man training? I saw him out here promoting. His NIL deal. I saw some Instagram reels of the young man with his slide on, so I'm loving seeing that. What else is going on in the world?
Oh man, we just blessed over here, man. We just keep the daily grind going on. Make sure the family's okay. He's doing great.
Yeah,
He's in Duluth right now. He's out there in Minnesota, Duluth, out there in Lake Superior doing his thing right now, training and taking a little bit of sunshine while he's in the Great Northwest. And the family is just doing good. I mean, I can't complain. Right now, everything's just kind of getting ready for the season to start off, especially for high school football for me.
yeah.
On the 11th and 12th, we got our big old kickoff classic. It's probably, I think, the number one or number two food drive in San Diego, California. Especially it's the number one 2 day drive. So we plan on raising about 4 to 5 tons of food for
Wow.
those in need. And having some great high school football, and we're trying to build a college fair on top of that. So kids, so with all the foot traffic, we could have a college fair. Kids out there be able to not only get college information while they're also helping people with those in need with donating a a canned good,
Come
as
on,
well as being
man.
able to be entertained by having some high school football. So kind of combining all three into one, to make it a festive event, and just pushing that, man, just getting that all coordinated and ready to go. And then the regular stuff, the husband stuff, the
Hey,
father stuff, the work
make
stuff.
sure that
Yeah,
we
yeah,
get to eat the URL and the link to that
yes,
event because if someone within the community wants to support, either send a canned goods, send a checks, and what
yeah,
blankets, whatever
absolutely,
we can do, promotion and things like that. So make sure I get that link so we can put that out there. Um,
yeah.
so let's go. We talked football. Let's get into professional sports. Let's get into what these women are doing, and I'm
Hmm.
loving this. I'm loving this right here. So Brianna Stewart, Nafisa Collier. Hopefully, I'm
Hmm.
saying her name right. Please, Lord, forgive me if I'm not saying it right. But this is in outcry. This is in reaction. This is in response to what happened with Brittany Griner, and
Hmm.
other athletes. Right, a lot of other things. But as far as the WNBA goes, having to leave the United States, having to go globally, to go to Russia, to go to Brazil, to go to all these other locations to play when you're in the off season, to make money to feed yourself and to feed your family. It's crazy talk, right?
Yeah,
Not everyone
yeah.
should be walking around with what was it, hashish or cannabis oil. And we won't get into that piece of it, but
Hmm.
let's keep them here so they can play during the off season and make a decent amount of money. Brianna
Yep.
Stewart, Nafisa Collier are starting that league, to whereas the players during their offseason can actually play here in the United States. The league is going to be called Unrivaled and is going to run from January through March, feature 30 of the top professional women's players on 6 teams playing games of 3-on-3 and 1-on-1 at a soundstage in Miami, Florida. So they finally getting a little bit of recognition, right? So they finally getting the ability to have chartered flights
Yep.
because of again what happened with Brittany Griner while she was going through the airport and someone felt like they needed to roll up on her. But
Mm-hmm.
again, this is what all of them are facing right here. Just not being, for one, they don't make enough money anyway for
Oh,
their game and
I,
for their league and for their talent. We can talk about that as long as you want to. Let's get into
yeah,
that
yeah.
too if you want to,
But
man. But
I'm gonna get into it. I'm gonna get into it a little bit more so.
mm,
So I saw a couple of ways they break down the NBA paychecks, right? These big
mm-hmm.
bonuses that all these players are getting. So I believe one of the players in Indiana, I forgot his name, but he's going to get $250 million. You're like, wow, that's a lot of money for the next few years. But within that breakdown, the NBA, there's an NBA tax in there that you have to pay the NBA back. There's an NBA, there's a fee you have to pay to be a part of the league. There's a percentage of your check, your bonus, all your money you get. I'm wondering why portions of that money does not go to the WNBA and help them fund things. They shouldn't even have to play off-season league. Let's be honest. They shouldn't have to have an off-season league. They should be able to make enough money in their current league, which should be sustainable for them to be able to play,
No, that's true.
to sustain their life all the way. Now, this is the crazy part. How is it that I believe they said something like 70 NBA players make more than that entire league does a year?
Yeah,
70 individual players get paid more money than that whole entire than the payroll of that whole entire league. Right there's an issue. There's a problem right there. Now we want to talk about equality and all that stuff. But we could talk about it now. We can always say they can always go to the argument, well, they don't generate as much money as the WNBA. And my argument was that was because you don't market it the same way you do as the WNBA.
that's it.
So if you don't market it, you don't see you're not going to see the revenue. I already told you my suggestion is that they should have a team in everything, and that should be the doubleheader every night. The men's should be the Golden State Warrior women's should be playing whoever the women's in the opening game at 5 o'clock, and then the men's game should be at 7 o'clock. And
That would be
everywhere
hot, man.
we go.
Golly, that would be hot. I'm telling you,
So
I would pay.
that way,
I would pay real money for that too. To have both
yeah,
of those
that
teams
way,
playing. So
and you got to be realistic. Okay, let's say a lot of people aren't coming to they're coming to the men's game and not the women. But you would already know, no matter what, they're going to catch probably the fourth quarter or either half of the women's game but before they catch the men's game. So that would right there up their ante as far as the marketing skill is concerned. It gives people more bang for their dollar. So instead of me paying $500 to sit in the seat at the Lakers Stadium and get to watch one game, I actually get to watch 2 games and watch the LA Sparks as well play against whoever they're playing.
okay,
Um,
yeah.
and you get a kind of a 2-for-1, and that way now the NBA can truly say we're grandfathering the WNBA in, and now they can justify the money that they're getting. I think I'm tired of them not having no solutions. They just give us excuses why they're not doing things. Why
Yeah.
don't you provide a solution, a viable solution that can benefit everybody? Now, even then, do the women still probably get as more as the men? They probably won't. But that would sustain them where they're playing a lengthy season, which would be the same as the men, 82 games. The playoffs will be the same. Everything will kind of piggyback off of each other. But now there's a full generating revenue under the big NBA umbrella. And here's the men's the NBA and the WNBA's over here. And you kind of castrate the cash flow goes down that way.
Goes down to everyone where it's. I mean, when you put it all like that, right, and you start talking dollars and cents, and I got it here on the screen right now. Think about this, folks. You think about what not even your favorite NBA player makes every
Yes.
year, but the 2023 season supermax salary in the WNBA is $234,000.
Yep. Which probably maybe 2 players are making that. Maybe 2
You know what I'm
or 3.
saying?
Maybe.
You compare that to someone coming off the bench in Houston. Someone
No,
coming off the
someone that
bench.
never plays.
That's
The
true.
15th
Well,
man
okay.
makes $400,000 at least, $400,000 to $500,000 at least
You know,
in the NBA.
it's
Now,
disgraceful,
I
actually, what it
know,
is.
yeah, I know we have a lot of people out there that be like, oh well, I don't like it that much. I also saw another interesting article that was thinking, and it was from Shaq. Shaq said, "What is the one thing they're missing from the WNBA that's different from the men's NWA? The only thing that's missing is dunking, right?
Mm-hmm.
You get more dunks in
Yeah,
the men."
I saw that
He
little
said,
take that he had.
yeah,
Yeah.
he said, well, why don't we change the rim to be 9 feet instead of
Lower the
10?
rim. Lower the rim. It's
Lower
all
the rim one
entertainment.
foot.
It's all
Yeah.
entertainment. That's what we want to see. Yeah.
Now he said if you lower the rim to be 9 feet or 8.5 feet, now you'll see women dunking on women and all this stuff more prevalent and more throwing alley oops and stuff. That would make the game. He said not even if it's not just not if it's not as good as the men's, might even be better at that point because the way women play basketball is way more fundamental than men. It just is the way it is. So can you imagine if the rim is now low enough where they can execute dunks more often, alley oops, pick and rolls where they can get a dunk off of someone? We can see a young lady just come down the hole and just posterize somebody. That, but I mean, if you think about it from a marketing standpoint and from an exciting part of the standpoint of the game, how much more exciting when people start to be involved in the WNBA like they're in the NBA?
Yeah.
Because that is the only thing that's missing from it. It is the dunk. It's not anything else. They shoot threes just as good as they do. They run offenses. They're averaging in the hundreds. Some of the teams are averaging in the hundreds. They got tall people. They got small. They got quick guys. They got everything that's there except for the dunk. Now, if you lower the rim a little bit, now you have more of them dunking, and then it would be a whole different ball game. The dynamics of the game
They
would
got the
change.
fundamentals down too, right? So they know
Yes,
how to play the game. They got the
yes,
game down, and you're right. They should just bring that extra entertainment element to it,
yep,
and there would be very few empty seats there. Very few empty seats.
yes. And you double that up being the double header for the NBA. I think the NBA would the revenue they can justify paying them. They would get that from fans pouring in watching that game because now you get a big bang for your buck. I would pay 10% to watch another game. You can add 10% on my ticket if I can watch another game, and it's the WNBA game before pregame.
I'm gonna spend money in merchandise. I'm gonna buy one of them $20 hot dogs. Right. I mean, so
Yeah, yeah.
there's gonna be money rolling in either way. And yeah, we've talked about this, and gonna give you the credit and flowers on that. You need to talk to Adam Silver. Uh, you know, was it the superintendent? No, not the super. The the commissioner of the
The
league.
commissioner.
Yeah, I don't know what I got school on my mind. I'm talking about superintendent, the commissioner of the league,
Yeah,
and get that into action right there.
yeah. I
That
mean,
would just make a lot of
it,
sense.
it's you know what I'm saying. It's funny because people told me common sense isn't common. So to me, it's common sense. So why wouldn't you
Common
do
sense is
something?
not
Why wouldn't you
common.
do something that just makes complete sense? And I would like to hear from the people that's out there. What do they think? Do they think that would be a good idea? Because I think it would be. I think it'd be a great idea.
Yeah, don't be bashful, folks. I know we on a number of channels tonight. I'm doing a little more beta testing with some things. We definitely gonna lock in though on where the show goes. And you haven't said it. You haven't even seen. Got some new look to the show here.
Oh
Uh,
man, I'll give you the
I
props
always
afterwards,
make
but
you bigger.
it's like a short.
I
I
always make
see.
you bigger, right? Because no one. I'm just here pushing buttons and
Nah, man.
running off at the mouth. But I want to make sure that Montel Allen is looking right. I just pop up once in the blue moon. All right, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm deviating. I'm deviating. Um, this is how the week started, and it's not a good story. It's not even funny, so I shouldn't laugh. But it's it's unfortunate that it had to happen to this particular person because this particular person is always having some bad things happen to her. Britney Spears. Somebody pray for her.
No.
God, Britney. Listen, her and Victor Wembanyama. Number one overall pick in the NBA draft, going to the Spurs. Victor was out at dinner with his security because the man got security now. Of course, he multi-million-dollar man. Brittany and I don't even know if her husband was there. I'll just say that Brittany was at dinner at the same location. She says, "Oh, there go Victor. Let me go holler at him. Let me go maybe get a picture of him. Let me go say hello, say congratulations." Long story short, here's kind of the pitch. There's no video of it right now. Well, I'm sure there's going to be some video somewhere, but all we got are just these still images of what happened. Apparently, Brittany went up behind Victor, tried to say hello to him. The security guard for the Spurs put their hands on Brittany, and apparently, according to Miss Spears, they slapped her. Right, to get her away from him. No, he's not taking any pictures. No, he's not saying hello. We're trying to get him out of this location. So apparently, the story is Britney Spears got slapped by Victor's security team. Next day at practice, Victor saying, "Listen, I got nothing to do with it. I didn't know nothing about it. I wasn't paying attention. I didn't know she was behind me. I didn't know who was behind me. I was just told to scurry out of the
Hmm.
restaurant." Well, Brittany just can't catch a break, man. What are your thoughts on this, man? I mean,
Hey,
this is just.
you,
I mean, this is just one of
you,
them things. Unfortunately,
nah,
that happened.
no, you know
Oh,
what?
hold on.
No,
Josh
it
said he
isn't.
saw a video. I want to see the video, brother. Shoot me a link if you got the video. We'll put the
Yeah.
video on screen.
First of all, I heard she reached out to him. I heard no security guard slapped her. I think that was one of the stories. They didn't slap her. They didn't put her hands on it, even though they apologized for not letting her in. But bottom line, though, she's in the industry where entertainment. She knows how.
Yeah, and
If,
she been through it
how
too. Yeah,
yeah, she's been through it. So you know how security acts in those situations. Why would you put yourself in that situation just because you're Britney Spears? I'm sorry. We don't know who you are. They don't know who you. Victor don't know who you are
hmm
unless somebody told him. He don't know you from no one on the street. You're not a part of this generation no more where you're that big icon like you used to be. So from that point, if a normal person grabs him, his security is going to react the way they're supposed to. Keep him moving, stay off him. He's not taking no pictures. Let's keep going. Unfortunately, she happened to be the person that got caught up in the end.
man.
And that's it. That's it.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
they did their. How you can get mad at him for doing his job? That's what my problem. Why are you going to get mad at that person for doing their job? Just
yeah.
because you British people?
So
Because
yeah, let me let you finish
yeah,
because I have a
yeah,
very interesting take on this, and I don't know if you may know my story, but
yeah, yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah. I
let you
know.
finish
Yeah,
on
I know.
this. So
Yeah.
I
But I'm saying
mean,
you're going to get mad at this person doing their job,
yeah,
and the only reason why this is headlines is because you're Britney Spears. Because anybody, average Joe, if that would happen to, this wouldn't even be an issue. So there we go. Go ahead now. Your turn.
yeah.
Go ahead. Tell me what you're going to
So
say.
folks who may not know, listen, I gave 10, 12, I don't know how many years now. I gave that many years to Clear Channel Entertainment and to Bill Graham Presents here in Northern California. So I was security. I was that guy that was responsible for the principal. When they got to the venue, I made sure that they were secure, their whole team was secure during the event. They were taken care of. So I am that person who is either managing principal relationships at a venue and making sure that the young girls don't go and try to jump on stage for NSYNC and 98 back in my day that's who it was,
Mhm,
and I've done Britney Spears too, right? I've done her shows because that was part of my heyday during that. And you're right, man, security, a lot of moving parts when
mhm,
you're around high profile people like this and someone is rolling up on you trying to get an autograph, trying to get a hug, you don't know what they're trying to do, if they're trying to harm the person, take their, pull their
mhm.
clothes or whatever, maybe coming at them with a weapon or whatever, especially nowadays, you just don't know. Security
Yep.
has to react, and you cannot fault the security person for reacting to a situation, to this new 19-year-old multi-million-dollar man in San Antonio.
Mhm.
Someone's rushing up on him, trying to grab him. That's the thought that I would have as a security person. Right, I'm trying to get the principal out of the way. I'm trying to get Victor out of the way so I can address this particular
Yep.
situation. It's unfortunate. Then listen, no one needs to be slapped. No one wants to be slapped. Joshua says he saw the video, and like he's saying, security did it as a reaction to her trying to grab him.
Mhm.
That's what it is. That
Yeah.
really is what it is. And training or whatever, I think they did, from everything that I know, third person looking in, and my personal experience, again, being in those shoes and in that particular situation. I've had to knock quite a few people down,
Mhm.
right? At these particular types of incidents. I've had to take care of a lot of incidents, but I think that this is just, it's just unfortunate that she always is in the middle of some bad news and
But you can't. Well, see, you say you think it's unfortunate
well,
or
again,
bad.
man, she's going through so many things in her
Nah,
life.
man.
But
No, no, we're not
what's
putting.
funny? Hold on, but what's funny is literally like 2 days afterwards, she's starting doing all these social media posts. Hey, I'm writing a book. Uh,
Yeah,
so now she's
exactly,
back in the news. So
exactly.
again, I'm not going
So
to read
she
in between the
capitalized on.
lines, but
She's trying to capitalize off the situation that happened.
yeah, yeah,
I'm sorry, Brittany. I'm sorry that happened to you, but you know exactly what happens
yeah,
to people that try to touch you that you don't want to be touched by with your security.
yeah.
You know exactly what it is.
Yeah,
So why am I
we
going to
have
feel
a
sorry for?
writer before every single show, and it says exactly what can and cannot happen, who can be wherever. And I don't remember her specifically, but again, yeah, you can't just be letting fans
Yeah,
roll up on you, and she should know better. She should know better.
she knows better. That's what I'm saying. She knows better. So the fact that he either knocked her hand away or got her out of the way, while him going for him trying to grab him from the back, and he kept going. That's fine. Now, maybe if he recognized her, he knew who she was, or they were in that situation, he probably would have reacted completely different. But the bottom line is, his security is like, yo, hey, my job is to get you out of this bad boy. No
Hey,
one's touching you. Let's go.
his
If
job
someone
was to
touches
do what
you,
he
I'm
needed to
going to react.
do. He did what he had to
Yeah,
do. Like Josh is saying, if he did not react and if he just let it slide, let it slip, there'd have been a little conversation about you in the wrong position.
yep,
He'd
yep.
have been probably let go the
The
very next
Spurs would
day.
have been like, you're not protecting our
Yeah,
commodity. What's going on? We might have to let you go. So I don't see any problem with this. Like I said, the only reason why this is headlines is because Britney
it's because
Spears
it's
wants to
her.
make a big deal out of it, and I get it. I get it from her perspective. Hold on, you're not supposed to be treating me like that. I'm Britney Spears, blah blah blah. But I'm sorry, sweetheart. The reality is that you're not that kind of superstar no more.
Oh
That's just
my
the way
God, your days are past.
this is
Oops, you did
gone.
it again, boy. Oops, you
Yeah,
did.
yeah. Uber ain't happening no more. That's what it should be called. Because it's not happening no more. You don't have that clout reign like you did back,
I'm
15, 20
sorry.
years ago, where if you were to walk, everybody would clear the path for you because you're Britney Spears
Yeah,
and you want to meet him. And they would do a photo op right there because it's Britney Spears wanting to meet him. But that doesn't happen no more. Your days are past, and the volatility of security and the way things go on now, you can't do that. I mean, look
yeah,
at Dave Chappelle. Who right up on the stage and try to fight him.
man.
It just
Listen on
she
stage. Yeah,
so she's but I'm saying me, I wouldn't know. I don't know the difference. But she's in the industry. She's been in the industry since she's like 13 years old. She knows. She
yeah.
knows
She know
exactly what
better.
happens.
She know better.
So don't get over here and say, hey, I tried to grab them and they hit me and they slapped me and they beat me and they threw me down. No, they reacted exactly how they're supposed to react. An unknown person trying to grab him, they're gonna get their hands off you and make sure they put
Yeah.
them paws on you to make sure you don't come back.
Josh, send me the video, brother. Send me a link. I need the video. If you can send it to me like within the next 20 minutes, we can put it on the screen, man. That hilarious. Uh Rob McGregor, good to see you in the building, brother. Appreciate you for being here. Listen, let's do this. Got two more stories that I want to get into, and they're kind of feel good stories. And to be honest with you, they're kind of feel good stories. The last one I want to ask you about as well, but let's talk about this right here. Adam Pac-Man Jones, y'all remember him?
Mm-hmm.
Pac-Man, listen, he dynamic out there on the field. It's not that man was dangerous, right? He put the ball in his hands. He's going to the end zone every single time. Well, he was good on the field. Had a lot of run-ins with. It wasn't easy when he wasn't playing. I would say that. Just either
Even
whatever it
when he,
was.
even when he was playing at the strip club, they know him.
You know what I'm saying, right? Pac-Man has been surrounded. He's like one of them brothers. I think Richard Pryor had the joke. Bad luck tapping him on the shoulder. Who it is? Bad luck.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mm-hmm.
needless to say, he is now. He came out on the show. I think he was on Shannon Sharp's podcast talking about he is raising his ex teammate Chris Henry's kids
Yep.
after almost 15 years.
Yep.
Ex teammate Chris Henry died in an altercation off field,
Mm-hmm.
and at the tender age of 26, right? And Adam Jones has said, "Listen, man, you were my guy. I'm gonna make sure that your kids are taken care of." And over these past almost 2 decades, he's been looking after and taking care of his kids. And this
Oh,
is one of those stories that's taken all this time. It didn't have to come out, but it just came out because they were in the midst of a conversation. But I
yeah.
like the fact
Yeah.
that it didn't have to be public news. Just the fact that
Nope.
I'm doing something because this is my guy. He he's no longer here with us, but these kids need a father figure, need a man in their life, need someone to help guide and direct them. And he's
Yep.
doing this, and I really wanted to applaud him on that. I'm not
Oh
sure if you saw
man.
that story.
No, no, no. I remember when it happened years ago.
Yeah,
And the funny part about it, people watch the interview. He doesn't bring it up. Shannon brings it up. He doesn't even
yeah,
say anything about. It. He doesn't
yeah,
ever. He never acknowledge like, hey, I'm doing this. I'm taking care of. It. He doesn't even acknowledge it. And I thought that was a bigger gesture than anything because he doesn't. That's not the forefront of his conversation ever. He treats them like they're his kids. Like those are my
yeah,
kids. He did it right when he passed away. He said he was going to look out for him, and I mean he's been even above and beyond looking out for him. Not only just taking care of financially, he makes sure he takes them to camps. He flying on the plane with them wherever they got to go. He's making sure he pays for school. He's doing everything like he mentioned. I believe his father would have did for him if he would have still been around and not unfortunately lost his life. So man, you got to give that dude major, major, major props for especially for all the bad press they give him.
yeah. That's
This
what I'm
is some of
saying,
the
right? I mean, I always
this is
shining negative lights on this guy,
yeah,
but man, this right here.
you
So,
know, and you got to think there's been hundreds, not thousands of guys in that kind of same position he's in,
mhm.
and wouldn't care or look for nobody else. This dude took on another man's his two children, and I believe their mother. I mean, he takes care of their whole livelihood. I've never heard. He's always like, whatever they need, I got it, I got them. So that's crazy. You got to think about it. Taking care of another family.
Yeah,
We having a problem. People having a problem taking care of their own family. Can you imagine taking care of another family?
you know, and not
You
even
know,
out of obligation, right? Not
no,
you aren't bound by anything. It's not written anywhere. These aren't your kids. This is just again. This is
yeah,
me. This is me to Montel saying, so something jump off or whatever. I got you. I got you.
I
I
got
got your family to make sure that they're good for as long as I can provide. And those are the stories that need to be told more.
you.
Uh,
Yep,
especially someone who has had issues before, who run-ins with the law, run-ins unfortunately with drugs, and whatever the case may be. But man, this right here is just a good story that I think folks need to hear about.
yeah. I believe what Shannon was like. It's time to give him his roses, right? He likes to give him
Yeah.
the roses props. I think that was definitely one of the situations where we give him his props. Plus, I've seen Pac-Man Jones on. I can't believe I forgot what podcast. It's another podcast, but he's the perception of him is definitely off, right? We think he's some
Mm.
bad guy, renegade
Hmm.
guy, by what the media paints of him. He's really not. I mean, he always admits he made his mistakes and he's done some things, but he's not the guy that the portrait that they want to paint of him. He's articulate, but he has a southern twang, so it kind of sounds a little different than ours.
Hmm.
But he's very articulate. He knows what he's talking about. He really knows the game of football, the X's and O's, the ins and outs of it for sure. And he also does. He does have a very valid opinion about a lot of things that's going on and why people do certain things, such as John Morant and all that stuff. He has a very interesting perspective, and as all the shows, why he does things. And I watched him come time. I was very impressed on how he carries himself because you would think by what the media says about him,
Yeah.
he's just a thug and he's out there doing, he's a
Yeah.
thug.
They're just
He
doing
brings as
dirt.
much money to the strip club and all that stuff. You would think that, but he's not like that at all, man. He's pretty grounded, and this just kind of solidifies it and adds another layer on top of the kind of person he is. So
Yeah.
good, great story.
Yeah. And I wanted to say this because I've been really locked in and focused on family and just being aware of times and making sure that you tell folks how you feel about them when you can. This story of what happened with Chris Henry is so he was trying to get his life together. He was already out of football. Um, he actually fell out of the truck that his wife, fiance at the time, was driving, and he hit his head on the bed of the truck, and he died from blunt force trauma. So that's what happened, right? It wasn't in an altercation at wherever, but he was in the truck with his fiance at the time. He fell out of the bed of the truck. May have been alcohol involved or whatever. He may have just slipped. I don't know. I don't know. What that police report. But again, something as simple as that. Something as minuscule as that. How many times have you jumped out of a bed of a truck or whatever or slipped whatever? But that right there, he hit his head on the bed of the truck and died from blunt force trauma. So take care of folks. Talk to folks. Right? Because you never know. You never know what's going to happen. What's going on? Mr. Riley is in the building. West Side is in the building. Have y'all got together?
Yeah, we got
Listen,
it. We talked to him before,
okay.
I believe.
Listen. We out here trying to network. We out here trying to
Yeah,
make sure folks communicate and collaborate. All right. Next story is interesting. Let's go track and field. Let's talk about Shikari Richardson. I know the woman. I can't even get her name right. Shikari Richardson out here running, doing her thing. First of all,
she went a 10-8, right?
first of all, okay,
Oh yeah,
she's lined up out there. You know she bad, right? Y'all know she fast too. Come on, she can have whatever issues that she needs to have. Last season and at the Olympics or whatever the case may be. But y'all know she got that foot speed. Got a wig on. You don't know she got a wig on, but she do got a wig on, and she gonna let y'all know that this is causing some adverse wind resistance. So before the gun goes off and before she lines up in them blocks, she gonna go ahead and get comfortable out there. I'm gonna let the video play. While the video is playing,
You
here's
think
how
she
I
did it
want.
on purpose, man?
No, I don't think she did it on purpose. I
I
think
don't know.
sister girl. I think she just said, "Listen, I'm out here. I'm seeing the competition to my left and the right. I'm gonna go ahead and take this extra 2 pounds off of my head so I can be a little more
I,
streamlined."
I mean, it was a smooth gesture. Don't get me wrong. It was cool. That's why I said, do you think it was playing? Because she took it off and then she just rolled what a 10.8. And at the time, that was the this year's fastest time. And right, this at the time when she ran it, this was the fastest time in the United States when she did it.
Yeah. Okay. Let me see. Is this where she gonna pull it off?
Now she pulls on right before she gets in the block. I
Bam.
thought. Oh what?
Look at
Nope,
that.
nope. She
Bam.
already
She said,
did.
"Nuh-uh." She already said, "Listen, nuh-uh. Hold on, y'all. If y'all missed that, if y'all missed that, you know, I see my
Yeah.
competition. I'm looking over at my competition. She said, you know what? I need to make sure I win this race. Let me make sure I'm as agile and as fast as possible. Let me go ahead and pull this wig off right quick. No matter that I'm on television, y'all see me. I ain't worried about y'all. My goodness.
Mm.
Needless to
Yeah, it was
say, we
gone.
watching this and we telling y'all all about it. She won. Clinches
Yeah.
the
Oh yeah.
title in the women's 100 meter. Let's go ahead and get it's fast because it's 100 meters. Lord have mercy. Look, NBC is locked in on
See?
the wig. NBC, they say,
Yep.
NBC is locked in on that wig. Said, oh, Lord, what are we going? We never had this before.
Yeah, she rolled, man. I think she ran what a 10.8. I think it was a 10.8, if I'm not mistaken.
But let's just think about this again. Everything that she went through during the Olympics,
Oh,
losing her mother and having to go back and getting disqualified and having all of those suspensions and things like that, and now to see her progressing and getting back to the top, getting her back to winning national titles and things like that. I mean, this right here is just a really good. This is a good feeling right here. This is something good to
I,
see.
I think she's on a mission to show everybody that she's the fastest person in the world.
Look at the expression on her face, right?
Yeah,
Because she knows she did it, right?
yeah, yeah. I think she's on a mission, man, to show everybody that since she won't be in the Olympics, that I'm gonna show everybody that I'm the fastest person and I deserve to be in there. And I hope her body of work allows them to revisit the decision and hopefully lets her in. I hope
Yeah,
that she gets to get in by her petition. Because I want to see her race against that Jamaican girl that broke her record.
my
What
goodness,
2 days later? That
bro,
broke this record.
that's
Her
gonna be hot
birthday.
right there. Yes,
Yeah, and we all know that the Summer Olympics is the place for them to meet up, right? That'll be the perfect setting for them to meet up and go against each other to see who's the fastest woman in the world. So I'm hoping they let her back in. Um, and she's making a great argument, right? And I think she's real focused. Like it kind of goes to show you when you go through adversity in life, you go through that mental block, and
mm-hmm.
things happen, and then once you come out of that fog, look what's happening. She's refocused. She's rededicated to her craft. She's running faster than she's ever ran in her life. And she got a bad start right there. If you notice it, she got a bad
Yeah,
start, and she
she
still
did. Yeah,
was gone. So, man, like I said, I want to see her go against that Jamaican girl in the Olympics. That's gonna be
yeah.
fire.
This is exciting to see because she out there putting in that work, and and when I first saw the reaction right there, I mean that she was never gone, but the fact that she's back, right, right,
Yeah,
just to see that right
yeah,
there, just to see that reaction when she tore that banner down. So
yep. Now
that's
get
how I
this
want to
mug out
be
of my
in, man.
get this out of my face. Yeah, get this bad boy out of
Get
my face.
this out my way,
Y'all
man.
know y'all messing with.
I'm out here trying to win, and so
Yeah,
shouts out to Shakari Richardson, man. All right, brother.
yeah.
Listen, ESPYs, like I said, are happening. My dad came over the other day, and I said, "Man, there's no sports on. I don't know what we can't
What you
watch
talking
no."
about? It's your time, man. It's baseball. You supposed to be knee deep in it right now.
I don't know, man. Well, there were the other day. Yes, I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago. There were nobody was playing that I wanted to see. Right, I can't just
Mm-hmm.
watch every team. You
Well,
know.
with your boy's son just won the home run derby. They're the first father and son combination to win the home run derby
Oh yeah, Ken
ever.
Griffey. Yeah, yeah.
No, not
No,
Ken
no, no, no,
Griffey.
not Griffey.
Guerrero or something like that. I forgot his name.
Yeah, yeah. So I didn't even watch that. I didn't watch the home run. I didn't watch
Oh,
the home run derby. So check it. I didn't even watch the draft. I didn't even watch MLB draft. I just got the headlines of it because I don't know. I don't know.
See, I'm swaying you my way, man. You started to look at baseball like me. It's like paint dry.
I'm starting to be sometime, right? I'll come in for the seventh inning, do the stretch, eat my Cracker Jacks and eat my peanuts, and then leave after about 20 minutes. I don't know.
You're a
So
cold piece, man. That's
I'm
cold.
cool.
You're supposed to be
I know.
supportive.
I know. That's what happens when you get a little bit older, right? You don't
I
have
feel
time
you.
to sit around for 9 innings. So
Hey, I'm not mad at you at all. Shoot, I'm not mad at all. So I'm feeling you on that one, man. We good though, man. Been another good
good,
show.
good. Yeah, man. Listen,
Yeah.
appreciate you for being here. I'm glad we were able to connect and still
Yep.
have a session here. We're gonna put this out on all the platforms so folks can check us out. If you guys got anything that you want to add to the show, like stories or whatever, if you got something that you would like us to discuss with the community, send an email our way, and we'll definitely do that. Gonna try to get some more guests on as well to have that third opinion, that third outlook on some of these stories that we talk about and give folks the opportunity to share their story. But Montel, it's all you, man. Go ahead and take us home.
Yeah. Like I say always, please get comfortable having uncomfortable conversations. That's the way we learn. And also check in on the family, friends and family. Make sure they're okay with that mental health because we went through that winter and that COVID. Now we're about to go through this hot streak in summer. We
Mm-hmm.
still got to check out and check in on people, make sure they're okay, so they don't go a little stir crazy. So, hey, again, get comfortable having uncomfortable conversations. We
That's
out.
it. We out, y'all.